Hello and welcome to episode number 3 of Detailed Altcoin Analysis. This video will be that on library credits, ticker symbol LBC. Like always, everything is within your own risk and your own reward. We take a look at this on coinmarketcap.com. We can see it's trading at 10.4 US cents. And that of 1,701 Bitcoin or Satoshi against that of Bitcoin. It's got a market cap of 17 US million dollars or 2,800 Bitcoin. Its volume is currently 25 Bitcoin or $154,000. Circulating supply less than 3 times lower than the total supply, circulating in at 167 million. And the total supply at 542,000. You can trade this on Bittrex, Poloniex, trade by trade. I've never heard of them, Upbit as well as Cryptopia, but the main places are both Poloniex and Bittrex. And I think this is going to lose about half its value from here, or it should be in line with Bitcoin. If, of course, they end up falling together. Maybe if Bitcoin falls to 3,000, this might even fall below half off or 5 cents, down to even as low as half lower than that, 2.5 cents. Why would that be the case? Well, this is Fibonacci retracement. We're looking at a coin that looks to have started off in July of 2016. And it was in a straight down fall from the beginning, and it did so for a good half a year. This is a 3-day time frame. The time frames you can see on the top. In the blue, we can see 3D. So each one of these candles representing 3 days. So we go from levels that ended up being a 2 times hit high or resistance field at about $1 and change, all the way to well under a penny. So that's well over 100x move. That's the volatility the nature of this business brings. Since that point, or the lows from early 2017, going from 0.08 or 0.09 even, or almost, they'll say a penny. It was a penny, was 1 cent to like 90 cents. So almost 100x move as it comes into play. So the Fibonacci retracement from the low and the high, well, the first 2 levels, first one is a 23.6% down move. And that would come in at a little under 39 cents. It chopped around that area for a little bit, eventually resisting this, and then the next move below that was a 38.2% correction. This was an area in which it pierced above on the first low, and then it consolidated amongst that area for a little bit on the second time that it hit it in September of last year. Resisting it, but having a failed breakdown below ultimately because it was able to retest the previous highs. And then again now supporting this mark, resisting south, a pierce below of the 38.9 handle. And we can see it has resisted going below. So it's probably going to make a move down to the 61.8% level. And that would come in at about 5.7 cents. And I'll say an even 5 cents as you usually expect to pierce extra on the moves below. But if Bitcoin goes to 3,000, you know, it's very possible that when Bitcoin reaches 4,000 to 5,000 or maybe this is where library credits will hit, and it'll do another leg lower after that and do a 76.4% down move. And that level comes in at 2.8 pennies among such. So those are the key levels. The status of the market when you're trying to get the story, it's obviously been declining amongst this 18 average. When we switch it to a daily term time frame, we can see how it's resisted it at this line a little bit. So the status first was a break of this key support at 14.8 or so. It's definitely had a good leg lower, definitely enough. So if you're like saying, okay, I want to buy on a leg lower, is it time to buy now? The answer is yes. Yes, it is time to buy. What's it doing? It's doing a very poor job in testing this previous level, because its main support back in October into November was in at about 12.6 or 12.4 cents in that area, and it had one level at about 10.9 cents that it hit, a low of 10.999, so we'll say 11 cents even. So it spent the last several days going sideways at that point from June the 13th through June the 21st. So it's barely starting to break down from there. So the status of the market at the key breakdown low, it's made one leg lower from this point. It's a test of this previous level. And now the status of it states it's leaving the area of key support, thus making significant leg lower, because last time on the daily time frame when it was breaking down, we were talking about breaking the support level at 15. Now we're talking about breaking a longer term support level in the range of 11 cents and 15 to 16 cents. And thus the target for that story of early stage breakdown is a price target of 5.7 cents. Switching it over to the Bitcoin cross, from the start of this move after the big decline, it's ended up having some volatile moves, to say the least. When its gain was from 1,300 Satoshi up to 37,000. Since that point, it has not had any close to rallies anywhere near from before. So a lot of the other altcoins, when they were going off in 2018, they did much better. So the Christmas failed. I guess I'm trying to find names for each of these moves. I'm calling the April moves that most markets had from April 1st through the end of the month as the April Fool's rally, because it really was the name fits it perfectly. So the December rally was significantly lower than this. A lot of other altcoins kicked its butt. So therefore, it's having major tests of this lower support level, which is currently, well, before that mark was around 1,500. But it also had a low of, I see, 950, we'll say. So we'll go to current. And then this support level about 2,000. So it's a large size range. But definitely a move, and this is a poor logarithmic chart as well. But a move to go back to these previous lows, at least as a minimum, would not be a surprise. And if it breaks below it, so be it. Is this, I'm going to use some coarse language, but it really, I mean, we're all grown-ups and it's just regular speech. Is this a shit coin? Because that's the term that a lot of people have deemed for some of these. After all, I'm planning on doing a whole bunch of these altcoin videos, because there's a lot of them. There's thousands of these. To me, that number is way too large. You can trade off of these things, but generally speaking, you want to trade the ones that have great upside potential and ones that mainly do not go straight down. Since this top, it pretty much has been amongst that case. For if you were selling high on the way up and buying back, all of your buy orders that you've made on the way down starting in August last year at like 11,000 and 8,000 and 6,500. You haven't been able to sell them Now, all the ones below that you would have been able to sell in the December rally, but since the buybacks have came in this move in here, you buy back, say, at 5,600, no sell. You buy back at 3,700, no sell. Maybe if you bought at around 2,500, you might get one sale on the April Fool's rally. And if this just grinds and keeps its way to nothing, that's the big risk with all of these altcoins. And at the same point, because it has had its ass kicked big time, that you could have a decent sized rally either because this is a good solid coin and it does such, it has the tremendous moves and you get some gains, or you get one of those fake moves, failed rallies. And if that's the case, so be it. You'll take the sales on the way up. Either way, only price pays on the market. So when you buy at the level, if you're buying at like 1,500 Satoshi, you're buying at 1,500 Satoshi. That's how it works. And if you sell it at 5,000 or 20,000 or 200, that's what you're going to sell it at. And the trade will go through at that price. So we finish this off now as far as the daily term technical analysis. So after the sideways move in here, as we can see from May 23rd to the 7th, it's had its leg lower, starting on June the 10th, concluding mainly on June 13th, and then just grinding its way lower. So it means that after breaking support at 2283, it's had its leg lower. It might continue to go further. I'd probably say, or if you ask me, what do I need for a decent sized leg lower? I'd probably say about 1900. So it's already 200 points below that, and it can keep grinding its way lower. A lot of them do that. And the one thing about cryptos is they go up a lot faster than they go down. The first episode I showed was Feathercoin, where in like 2 days it got back like 2 or 3 months worth of declines. It wouldn't surprise me if this thing goes and reaches like 3,700 in like 2 days or 1 day. From where we stand, I just get all of its losses back quickly on either a real move higher or a failed move higher. Either way, when those situations occur for myself as a trader, that means that I'm going to take advantage. How am I playing this? I'm trading this against Bitcoin, and I'm playing the buy low, sell high for minimum stakes. What does minimum stakes mean? For the lowest that I will play a code. The Feathercoin was also at minimum stakes. That was the first one. And the second one is Digibyte or Digibyte, which I play about 3 times higher than a minimum play. Some I play higher depending on, of course, its confidence level. And yes, so anyway, I'm going to conclude this now by talking about the benefits that I get from making these YouTube videos. And the first one is that of comments or valuable information. For I can remember even last year, just different things like, PivX. I would not have known about PivX or even No Limit Coin 2 if it wasn't for the comments. Some of them I found myself, codes like Bella and Smart Cash, and Extra Bytes did not come from YouTube comments. And there's also so many other different things, and even the comments that come in, which just state, oh, thank you so much, and that tells me that people are enjoying it. And that's just another way outside of the view count. That tells me there's real people that are enjoying these videos and so on. And then the second one is ad revenue. Now, I don't get that many views, so I don't get that much in the revenue's sake. But after about 3 days or so of videos, that's enough to have one meal at a regular restaurant, just a small meal, like a hamburger, fries, and a juice. Just a regular, like a $8-9 meal. Crypto gifts, I really don't advertise them at all. I'm thinking about in this series to advertise it at the end of the videos, and for each one I'll put a crypto link for the individual codes. So in this case, library credits, which I mean, generally speaking, Bitcoin and Litecoin works well. They aren't that great for how much I end up getting from these. I've gotten about maybe 3 over the calendar year of 2018. But at the same point, I don't really need this as a reason for making videos. I do realize that if I were to put out these videos and charge something like 5,000 Satoshi per watch, and that's the only way you could watch it, I would still be getting a dozen or two views per video, because there's a few people on there, and some of you watching it, yeah, if I would do it, yeah, for sure, because of the value that you get from these videos. So that's why I'm going to keep on posting the links, because quite frankly, I feel it's very good information, and for a lot of content creators on YouTube, it's a very good way to have it available. An example is one YouTuber. I'm going to make a YouTube video soon, and his name is Shannon, or the hockey guy, and he comes out putting a lot of videos, and he's trying to make an income for one of his favorite passions, putting a lot of time and energy into the position. And I've been putting a few crypto comments in the channel, but they've not been, there's a lot of comments in there, so I'm going to try to find a way to post a link to that video. I'll make a video at some point and say, hey, I enjoy your work, you should get into Bitcoin. I'll send you just a little bit of Bitcoin or Litecoin, and I think that would be pretty cool, because the reason why I want to do it is because if you would have looked at myself in 1985 through 1993, 1994 area, basically up until I was about 20, I was born in 1975, that I was really big into hockey and baseball primarily, as far as playing the games, watching the games, and then later on betting on the games. So if you would have given me a time machine or showed me what YouTube would have looked like in the year 2018 and just showed me his channel, I would have been, yeah, I would have done, yeah, that would be probably what I would do. Oh, me making videos is about stock or crypto trading and stuff like that. Well, I could see the gambling aspect, because I was getting into gambling. Even at the early ages, I was enjoying the aspect of such. So that would make sense as far as the crypto, but I would have figured more so towards the video content he does, which is just very statistical, number-based, and, well, you could say he's a hockey geek, basically, like I would be a crypto geek today. And his username is the hockey guy, and he's on YouTube. But yeah, the reason why I don't like to advertise it is because I really don't need it. But obviously, if you send crypto gifts my way, because I am using cryptocurrencies on a regular basis every month to do things like buy groceries, buy food, and stuff like that, it kind of would end up going towards such, as it is anyway. And for those that do, thank you very much. And that's why I do post the crypto links in each of my videos, because I understand if someone's like, man, this information is great, I don't mind helping out. That's why I like to put it there, because I know people feel good about that as well. So for this series, I'm just going to put a quick plug at the end of every video. Also, if there's any different altcoins you want to see, let me know. Let me know. Now, a lot of the newer coins, the ones that have been added over the last 100 plus days, I want to kind of wait a little bit if possible, unless I see it's an emergency buy or sell now kind of deal, as I'd rather get more data. So I'd like to get the ones right now that have been in play for at least a year, Bitcoin Cash and older, basically, is what I'm going to do. On average, 1 per day. This is 2 for today, obviously, and maybe I'll do 8, 9, 10 a week. Some days I might not do any, but I want to try to get as many of these as I can. See if I can build this counter to over 100. Thank you for tuning in, and have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.